Hey everyone, I'm Mike Lowe, and it is time. Super Mega Baseball 4 has been announced today. It's going to come out in a month, and we're going to talk through the review trailer, all of the new features, and really just my impressions and excitement for this game that I absolutely have loved over the years. So without further ado, let's jump on into it. Before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the video a like and definitely leave me a comment what your impressions are or if you have other questions that you want to talk about. As I mentioned, I love this game. I'm super excited to get in and take a look. But before we do that, just in case you missed it, let's take a look at the trailer for Super Mega Baseball 4.
Legends say they're still trying to get to that ball.
Super awesome. Super excited. I've mentioned I've loved this game in the past. If you know anything about me, I play a lot of baseball games. I have throughout. I mean, since the days of Atari. Love baseball games, and I can understand like the most common question I get asked about Super Mega Baseball is like, how can you play this? It looks like a kid's game. It looks very cartoonish. It totally does. That's one of the reasons why I didn't play the first one. I had the second one, or maybe I had the first or second one. I had one of them, skipped one, came back to three because I got it for free through EA Play, and just loved it. I absolutely love the game. It is cartoonish, but it plays very realistically. If you've been paying attention to any of my criticism of MLB The Show this year, you should know that I just don't like the fielding. The fielding in Super Mega Baseball is far superior. I think the pitching is far superior as well, as far as you'll actually walk batters, especially with lesser pitchers. So anyway, really enjoy the game. So try to get past that is the first thing I can say. But oh my gosh, I'm super excited. So the game's going to release on June 2nd. There are some pre-order benefits that you can see on their website, but let's just kind of go through and we'll look at really what they've posted today, which is quite a bit. So I'm going to assume that if you're watching this, you're one of two people. You either have played this game before and are looking for kind of like new features. We're going to talk about those, or you've never played this game and you just want to learn a little bit about it. I'll probably be more talking about the changes because I think you'll learn a little bit about the game just as we go through and do that. So first off, the big addition is that we have over 200 pro baseball players are added in this. So we have some real life legends. You saw Babe Ruth, David Ortiz, of course, was in the original teaser trailer from a few days ago, and so that's a big thing. What's neat too is that you can mix those when you start your league. You can have a league of kind of fictional players mixed in with the real life players if you want. Of course, presentation upgrades that just kind of a given with the game now being on next gen systems. So that's super cool. You can see 6 new stadiums it's saying right here. And then community requested features. There are some really nice things here. They've expanded the trait and chemistry system, automatic walks, so you no longer have to burn pitches for walks. That was not in Super Mega Baseball 3. Automatic runners, meaning if you wanted to have that option turn on in extra innings like they do in MLB, you can do it. Two-way players, that's brand new. You would have some pitchers who could hit well, but this is a whole different thing with two-way players. Expanded bullpens is probably the most important change that I've seen so far, especially for those like me who like to play 9 inning games. So that's super cool. I'm super glad that they're expanding that because as it is now, your bullpen was really limited. And if you got a starter in trouble, you'd have a really hard time getting through that entire game there. So that's a really nice change. Customizable free agent pool we talked about. I don't know if that includes like editing the free agents before they join in season to season. But I'm really curious about that because there's the initial draft when you start a league, I believe, is where you can work in the real life 200 real life legends. I don't know how that works with the off season when the free agent pool generates. So I'm really curious to hear more about that. If we look at more features, again, we talked about the legends. So this is super, super cool. You can see some of the names there. Ron Gant, Robin Yount, John Franco, and so on. Um, so yeah, that is pretty cool. It also applies to pennant race, it looks like, which I don't play a lot of. Presentation upgrades are kind of a given here. You can see the player models have been updated a little bit. Of course, lighting, cameras, cutscenes. There, you even heard commentary a little bit in that trailer, and I don't know if that was just for the trailer. I actually kind of hope they leave commentary out of it. I don't mind maybe just working in a few things like, oh, big home run or something like that, but I kind of like that the game's quiet. It's far less distracting. Of course, 6 new stadiums being added is super cool, for a total of 20, which I thought there was 20 to begin with, but maybe there weren't. So that's really, really nice there because that just allows you to expand out the league more if you want. Each team can get their own stadium and that kind of thing. They've mentioned the community requested features, but this area talks about a couple different things. So the draft shuffle lets you pick a combo, as we mentioned before. Um, Player traits being updated. It looks like they've expanded to include 55 new traits. That's huge because there were only 20 or so in the original game. And of course, traits are like, power versus right-handed pitching. Like the tendency to walk a hitter with with 3 balls in the count and that sort of thing. So that's really cool. You also have team chemistry worked in, and they haven't given us a ton of detail about this, but you can see on the screen here that it looks very, very similar to how games like NHL use chemistry, even games like Football Manager, if you're a soccer fan there. And so that's pretty cool because, of course, that will give you some boosts. I think this is probably pretty similar to tying into how ego works in the game, where you'd have players that are like locked in, or you'd have on the other end of that scale, like players who are tense. And so I'm guessing that you will open up things to have like more players that are in that locked in, or focused or whatever. Basically, like an attribute boost as you go through and play that particular game, and maybe it lasts multiple games. So that's really, really cool. Here, of course, you can see kind of the mix of I'm assuming some of these are fictional players with some of the real life players there. So super cool. 200 is impressive. When they just showed David Ortiz in the trailer, I was thinking like, I don't know, there's gonna be like 2 or 5, maybe 10 at the most. So that's pretty cool. New platforms and markets. It says they're expanding the PS5, so next gen systems, cross play in both pennant race and online league. So that's pretty great. I don't think that was the case in Super Mega Baseball 3. And it's also making its debut in Japan. So that'll be huge for them. That just makes a ton of sense. Seems like this game would really be a pretty good culture fit with Japan when you think of all of the just the anime stuff and all that. This is kind of like a hybrid of two of their loves, right? I mean, some of that again anime stuff mixed in with baseball, of course. So super super cool. And again, being very very general in that description there, but you get the idea. Um, there is a pre-order benefit I saw. It looks like you're able to get a couple of like extra stadiums. And so standard editions on this side, here's the ballpark edition. So you get it 3 days earlier, and you get these 3 new stadiums, which is pretty cool. So, um, and it looks like you'd only get one of them at launch, and then the other two you'll still get, it looks like, with the standard edition, but it would be like way later on. So that's just up to you. This is one of those games I wouldn't mind getting early just to support them, even though they are affiliated with Electronic Arts now. They don't really need the money per se. But Metalhead has always been a pretty impressive studio making this game. So that's super cool. They had some other stuff here in the ballpark notes section. There's been a couple of these released. So one of them is dealing with kind of what we just saw, the cross-platform matchmaking. That just goes into more detail there. And then the other one, if we go back, I think that's the same link here. Yeah, it's just kind of talking about some of the stuff we saw. Again, it does come out on June 2nd is the release there worldwide. Let's see if there's anything else. But yeah, I mean, just super, super excited about these changes. I am super excited about the bullpens. I've mentioned, to me, this game is already so good. It's so fun, and yes, it's arcadey, but even the off season, it's simplified. You're not going to get as deep of an off season as like NBA 2K or something like that. but I love that it's simplified, and I'm really excited to see what they've done with it. I hope we get some notes on franchise, and kind of maybe some of those expansions. But yeah, just again, super excited about all this. Definitely check it out. This is on EA.com, so if you just go to EA.com, you'll be able to see Super Mega Baseball 4 information. Of course, the YouTube channel has the trailer that we saw, and I'm sure they're going to have more information coming. So I'm pumped. Let me know what you think. I'm super excited about this. But if you want to chat more about it, leave a comment in the comment section here on YouTube, or find me on Twitter at MikeLow47. But thanks so much, everyone. I wanted to just kind of get some initial thoughts out on this and get the conversation going. So super excited about this. Let's talk about it. Super Mega Baseball 4, June 2nd. Information released today. Let's go.